As you're breathing, you're not just breathing, but you're breathing to find a space of not necessarily relaxation, but a space of groundedness. And when you're ready, begin to circle your neck, slow, deliberate circles. Sit tall in your spine. Here's 4, 3, 2, and reverse. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause at the center. Take an inhale, exhale, turn your head to the right. Drop your chin. Come back to center. Turn to the left. Drop your chin. Come back to center. Lift your chin to the sky. Shake your head no. Drop your chin to chest. Shake your head no. And come back to center. Change the cross of your legs. Now begin to rotate your torso. You can roll your neck or not. That's up to you. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1 more. And then reverse. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. Take a pause at the center. Plant your right hand and reach your left arm over your ear. And let's continue to alternate. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center, reset. Release your legs out in a V shape here. Rock until you feel your sits bones on the mat. Now shake your knees out. It's early in the morning, so chances are you may feel tight. And with the insides of your fists, just massage the quads, wake them up. And then switch sides. All right, if your hamstrings are super tight, you may need to do this a little bit more. So right now, I'm just going to encourage you to reach side to side, some active stretching. We're not asking the body to hold any stretch right now because it's probably not ready. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Begin to reach your arm over your ear. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come back to center. So now flex and point your feet. Flex means point your toes up to the sky. Point means send them forward. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now place your hands right on your hip crease. I want to create awareness there because I want you to forward fold from there rather than round your spine, okay? So press the backs of your knees down, flex your feet, and hinging at the hip, just rock forward and back. You feel the back of the leg open up, maybe even the inner thigh, depending on how your legs are positioned. Here's 4, 3, try to keep a flat back right now. 2, 1 more. Come back to center. Now this time, take an inhale, get taller, press your knees down, exhale, lead with your chest. Find your point of resistance where you can no longer hold your back flat, and release your hands or arms in front of you, round the spine downward. So you may feel this stretch in your lower back, of course the backs of your legs, perhaps your calves. That's common. You can play around with your feet, flex and point them, see how that feels. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press yourself upright. Now bend your knees, plant your feet, bring your feet about as wide as your hips. Bring your hands behind you. This is one of my favorite stretches early in the morning. So have your fingertips pointing either directly behind you or diagonal, whatever feels comfortable. You need enough space between your knees so that when you rock from side to side, your legs can be staggered. Now try to keep your chest forward. I love this stretch. I don't just love it in the morning. I love it all day long, right? For hip mobility, and also you feel some stretch happening in your back as well. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your knees on the left side. Press your chest proud. Wrap your shoulder blades around your spine. And bring your knees to center. Here's the other side. Chest proud. Shoulder blades back. And come back to center. Good. Extend your legs in front of you. Nice L shape in the body here. So notice that I'm sitting on my sits bones. That's what I want. Flex your feet. Press the knees down. If you have to bend them a little bit, that's okay. Reach your arms up over your head. Now, even though you're reaching, your shoulders are down and away from the ears. So a little bit of core activation here. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You may feel some heat being generated now, right? It's hot. Release your arms and reach for your opposite pinky toe. So remember, I want you to hinge at the hip rather than round the spine, because if you round the spine, you don't feel flexible. But when you hinge at the hip, you're creating more space. So let's do it. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now we are ready probably to do both arms. Cross at the wrists. You're going to reach for your opposite pinky toes. Deep inhale, press your knees down, lift in the spine, and let's go. Reaching for the opposite pinky could be a thing because it's early in the morning, I know. That's why sometimes I'll rock side to side a bit to create more space. And then when you're ready, just try to relax into it. So when we're stretching, we never want any pain. No sharp pain allowed. So we're not pressing the self into pain, but we are enjoying the challenge, the tension of the stretch. Try to drop your chin to your chest. See what happens. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, roll up one vertebra at a time. We're going to do one last stretch and then get on out of here. Let's take all fours. We call that tabletop. So in all fours, let's place your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Curl your toes under. We're going to do what's called cat and cow. So when you come into cow, if you think about a cow, its back arches down a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. If you have some spinal injuries or concern, be mindful here. I'm definitely going to be mindful. Right, I have a herniated disc in my back that I heal every single day. So there's the cow. So my arch is not very strong and it doesn't need to be. Just saying that so you don't judge your own self. Press the ground away from you and curve the spine. Tuck your chin to chest, tuck your hips. And this is cat. So you exhale on cat. Inhale cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat, and hold. So when you're in cat posture, you're stretching your back, the back of your body. When you inhale to cow, then you're stretching the front. When you come into cat by pushing the ground away from you and flexing your abs so you can enjoy a little bit of ab work while you're stretching your back. And as you come into cow, you are engaging your back, stretching the front of the body, and release to your neutral spine. Take your knees about as wide as the mat or outside your hips. Your big toes touch. Walk your palms about one palm print forward. Slide your glutes towards your heels and take wide leg child's pose. And we're going to rest right there. Allow your forehead to touch the mat. If you don't want to touch the mat, make a pillow with your hands and rest your forehead there. Deep inhale and exhale. So in this moment, we are grounding our third eye energy. Just imagine that you are becoming more clearer and clearer in your head space, clearer and clearer in your head space, not more clearer, clearer and clearer. See if you can press your chest downward a bit and your hips back. This is a great pose when you need to feel safe and secure. Deep inhales and exhales. So I invite you to stay here as long as you can, grounding your mind, your head space, connecting with your personal intuition and discernment. Being able to distinguish the difference between intuition and suspicion. Take a deep inhale and press yourself up into all fours. And that is it. Maybe I went a little longer than 10 minutes, but I think your body appreciates it. And that's it. Y'all have a good day. Let me know if you did this stretch, okay? I want to know. Drop it in the comments. I'm going live on Facebook, so I'm releasing my Facebook audience. Okay. And I'm going to take my TikTok audience up here with me. How y'all doing? Ooh, I see a sweet thing. Don't look at my clothes. Did you stretch? Okay. I would like to catch the next yoga live to stretch with you and learn, okay? That felt really good. Now you have to reheat your coffee. You just came into the room and missed it. It's okay, I'll be doing this from time to time. I also offer virtual sessions, so it's something to look out for. I needed that too. And I go live on my main page in the mornings often. So that was just like a quick morning ritual that you can do for your back and hips. I think I want y'all down a little bit more. Let me see. There we go. Okay. So in the morning, when I wake up, my body aches. It hurts to get out of bed on most mornings. And really doing this is the thing that saves me. Otherwise, I don't even know why I would want to move. I'm not sure what people do, you know, good. I'm not sure what people do in those circumstances, but without movement, I would not feel at my best in no kind of way. Sometimes I get up out the bed like, oh my God. But then once I get done with this, I feel better, right? Because movement is healing. And a lot of times, the body is tensing and tightening and cramping and doing all these things. And so we have to release it, right? And that's how people get stuck in their bodies, because the fascia and the muscles and the joints, they lock up and then they can't really move. And what that means is there's a lot of stuck energy in the body, potential energy that could be used for something else. And so we're not just moving because we want to be physical. We are also moving because we want to be physical. But we're moving energetically. Who wants to walk around with stuck energy in their body? Well, some people do, but I don't think they want to, you know. And you know, when your body feels tight, you do not feel your best. That's just a realization. And I remember reading that Joseph Pilates said that you're only as young as your spine is flexible. Because imagine if you can't get any movement in your spine, then you are greatly reduced in all kinds of ways. And then when we talk about yoga and the chakra system, the spine transduces energy, right? Up and down the spine energy. And so if we have kinks and locks and fusion, then the energy of the spinal cord information, it just can't flow. And I don't know that I use the right word, transduce. It transduces, but that's the word that came to mind. That's not a yoga word, that's why I don't know. But that's the word that came to mind, you know. A lot of neck stress. So sometimes, you know, it's amazing. I have my personal training clients, and I'll suggest to them that they stretch or add a personal training day when they stretch, and they don't want to. I ask them, have you stretched? Oh, I didn't have time. You don't have time to feel good. Okay. So you get a lot of lower back pain, that's common. Neck pain is common, right? Shoulder pain is common. So even if you're not going to get on the mat and do a whole routine, 5 to 10 minutes of shoulder rolls, right? Shoulder rolls help us correct our posture from the forward tilting head, right? The rounded shoulders, the rounded lower back. So when you begin to practice sending the shoulders back and down, what you're doing is strengthening the back muscles. When you wrap the shoulder blades around the spine, you're stretching the chest. And if people have some rounding of the shoulders, I wouldn't do forward, because these muscles are already lengthened if you have rounded shoulders. So what you want to do is tighten them, right? Where your neck is concerned, so many people have tight necks. I have a tight neck and I stretch. So you know you need it. So a few neck circles. And then lastly, a few torso rotations. And you could do this in a chair. You don't have to get on the floor and make it a big deal. You could sit in your office chair and do these things, right? And just that little bit of movement is a prayer. Movement is a prayer, saying to your body that I want more space. I want more length. I want more strength. I want more efficiency in movement, right? I want an easier time. That's what movement is saying as a prayer. I want an easier time in this human body. So another one that I showed today is one of my favorites here, is for hip mobility, rocking the knees side to side. There's a lot more, but these are my favorites. So I just choose to demonstrate the easiest, most accessible movements, right? And then you can even add a variation. Drop your knees to the left side and come into a twist. Now you're bringing in the hip flexor here. Proud chest, lifted chin. And then other side. Just imagine this is a prayer, right? A prayer for your hips. I want more mobility, more range of motion. For your spine, I want a healthier spine, right? And come back to center. Another favorite is always going to be this one, the V-shaped legs, right? So a lot of times when people forward fold, they forward fold from the top. Thank you. From the top of their back. They do this. They just start reaching. And you see them sitting like this, and they're going, I'm not flexible. No, you're not flexible, because the muscles in your back, you haven't created space. You just bent them forward. So it's like a rubber band. It's too tight, right? So what you do is you stretch the rubber band and then hinge. So you get taller in your spine, hinge, now you can round, okay? So even if I just do this, I can't go much farther than that, but it's an amazing middle back stretch, okay? So that's not what we're trying to do most of the time when we forward fold. So what you would do is engage your spine. Now hinge at the hip. Find your point of resistance and hold right there. Try to keep the spine as flat as possible. And over time, just rock forward and back. Active stretching. Some people are trying to hold stretches and they're thinking, I'm not getting more flexible, because there's more than one kind of stretch, right? So you could just hold right here and it may or may not help you tomorrow. But over time, if you're rocking, each time you rock, focus on increasing. Your body is smart. It's going to remember that you like to do this. So it's going to start releasing. And then when you do maybe the fifth one, then hold, right? And here the sensation is I'm pressing my knees down and sending my hips back, and my chest is lifted. So now from my hips, I'm finding the range of motion of the hip joint. Right? And it's also stretching my lower back. Now I'm going to round the spine down. And some people go, that's easy for you because you, whatever. There was a point in time in my life where I couldn't do any of this at all. I was dealing with early onset arthritis. That herniated disc that I mentioned earlier in my back was there. My knees hurt really bad. Walking upstairs was hard. Hips hurting. And even now, I'm still hurting, but I'm flexible, right? But when I started stretching, my knees wouldn't bend all the way, right? My hips, range of motion. I couldn't even sit in a cross-leg position because the hips would prevent me from doing it. So by the way, if that does happen, you can roll up a blanket or take a yoga bolster and put that under your hips to raise the hips so that it's easier to release them down. So that's an option that you have if your hips don't really let you sit in the cross-leg position. Don't suffer this to be so. Don't start trying to do your torso rotations from that. Sit on something like a pillow, a blanket, some towels, then do your torso rotations. Okay. All right, that is it for the day. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I'll be coming back and doing more and more of these. I'm slowly transitioning my content to this page so that I can keep my main page as a business page. So I hope that you come back and share me with a friend, okay? And y'all have a good day. You're welcome. Trying that.